Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about a game that I completely fell in love with, Balatro. Balatro is this indie darling that won some kind of award fairly recently, and it's pretty much a poker roguelike. So if you've played poker before, think of playing poker where you can discard cards and get new cards and try and make, flushes and straights and pairs and two pairs, full houses, etc. But you also get different jokers, and as you're playing you get money, and you can purchase these jokers, and each of them have variables. So the jokers can do things like give you a multiplier, or do things if you have certain hands. Like if you have a pair, it might give you extra points or a multiplier or something like that. Some of them do strange stuff, but they also work off of one another. So you can use one that gives you making a flush or a straight with 4 cards instead of 5. But then another joker will say every card is a face card, so no matter what it is. So when you play, even if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all considered face cards. And then you can use them in conjunction with your other card, and it is maybe easier to get a flush or easier to do pairs or whatever. As you play, you gain money each round. The more money you have, the more interest you gain on it each round, but the game gets progressively more difficult, and it is very random that some of the stuff that you play against, there's like bosses, and when you play against the bosses, it's random what kind of ability they have or take away from you. Sometimes the abilities the bosses have can be things like all the cards are face down and you don't know what they are, or when you play a hand you have to play 5 cards even if you only want to play like 2 or 3. The hardest one is it triples the amount of points you need to win a hand. That's always been the hardest one for me. I've gotten to the end and I'm about to win, and I'm getting maybe 50,000 a hand, and I'm doing well, and the last hand should be 100,000 in the game, and then it's 300,000, and I just can't do it. There are jokers and things you can buy in the game to get extra hands or extra discards. So there's tons of variables, and you can kind of mix and match the way you play. The point of the game is to get as far as you can, and in roguelikes you tend to lose, but you unlock new things that you can play with as you go. There's different difficulty levels. There's different decks of cards you can use, and each deck does something different, like gives you an extra hand, or gives you an extra discard, or gives you a certain ability to start, but does something else. So there's a lot of variables. Again, I know I'm using that word a lot, but that's kind of the best way for me to describe this game. But the game is really fun. It looks like a normal poker game. There's nothing like dramatically crazy about the graphics, but it's very addicting, very fun. It's one of those ones where you're like, let me just do another hand. Let me just do another round. I didn't win that last one, but I want to go back and try this or do that. And depending on what cards you pull and what jokers you can buy, it really changes the flow of the game. I've probably beaten the game 4 or 5 times now. It does get sort of samey as you go along when you start learning what you should keep and what you shouldn't keep to make better hands and get a lot of points. Like I got my brother-in-law into it, and he said he was getting like 1 million per hand, and eventually he started getting bored because he was winning every game. But it's really great. So if you like poker and you like roguelikes, this is just a perfect combination of the two. It's something that you wouldn't think would work, or you wouldn't really think about it, but it works so well. And I understand completely why this game has won awards and won people over. So check out Balatro if you haven't played it. I really, really enjoy it. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.